Hello and welcome back to our Flash series. We're in chapter 11, creating button symbols. And in this video, we're going to be linking buttons to specific frames. Now, before I suddenly jump in and start talking about this, there are going to be a number of words which are going to be new to you. So there are some terms that you just simply need to know. The first is event. Now, an event is triggered, such as a button is clicked or a key is pressed. Event handlers. An event handler is a block of code which runs in ActionScript when the event is triggered. An example is the button is pressed, which is an event, and a new web page appears, which is the event handler. Functions. A function is a block of code that can be used over and over again. Event listener. Now, when you've created an event and an event handler, you can assign these two to a specific button on the stage by using an event handler. So the event handler, for example, will be a specific button, like the product button, which when pressed, and that's the event, will go to the product page, which is the event handler. Finally, we have a word called method. Now, a method is something an object is capable of doing. So, as an analogy, we humans are objects, and we are capable of sleeping and eating, which is a method. Or if we take the example of a movie clip, and its instant are capable of using a method called go to and stop, and this means that the playhead can move to a specific frame and stop. Now, that's a lot to take in at the moment, so we're just going to work through this video and you'll see how all of these parts come into play. Let's get on with that now. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to go to our action layer, and we're going to click on frame 1. Now, you'll see that we don't have our action panel, so we'll need to go to Window and select Actions, and here we go. Right, all you want to do at the moment is type in this. So we're going to put function, go to products, open and close brackets, open squiggly brackets, and return. Okay, so what have we just gone and done? Well, this means that the function is given a name. The round brackets need to be in, and all the instructions are going to be between the curly brackets. So let's go on to our second line of code. Now we need to be in our curly brackets, so we need to be in line 2. And the instruction which is going to be in the go to products function is going to be this: go to and stop. Open brackets, speech marks, products, speech marks, close brackets, semicolon. What this means is go to and stop at the frame called products. Let's carry on. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go and add the word void and event into our program, and it's going to look just like this. So go to products, and then just after products I want you to put in an open bracket, EVT semicolon event, and close brackets. And then after that I want you to go and put semicolon and void, and we have that. Now, rather than make a big deal of it, that empty bracket is where we can now take off, because the empty bracket should have been filled with this. So you need to have that. Okay, so all what is happening here is this. Now that we've added the word void and event into our program, and that it should look like what is on my video, the word void means no value is going to be returned. And the event part of a program is like a container used to hold any information given to the handler. Now, I appreciate you might be getting a little bit confused at the moment, but don't worry. Just make sure that your code is the same as mine. Make sure you're using colons and semicolons in the correct place. And once yours is the same as mine, do a file save, and then we'll carry on. So I better do the same. I better do file and save. Okay, so we're doing very well. Let's see what we can do next. Well, let's go back onto our stage here. So I'm going to just bring that all the way up. Or maybe just go to the timeline and just simply have a bit of room. And we need to create our event handler. So I'm going to select products. Now the products button needs a specific name. So I need to go to the instant name here, and I need to go and put in products, again lowercase, underscore, button. So try and avoid any capital letters in there. And then once you've gone and done that, press return. Okay, so let's make sure now we're going to go back into our action script. And we've got our action script here. And this is where we're going to make our product button the event handler. So down onto outside our bracket, and maybe give ourselves a little bit of space. So we've got this so far, and this would have all been put in automatically. So you've got this look, and then onto here. And then what we want to do now is we're going to put in a product underscore the button name dot add event listener, open close brackets and semicolon. So what we've got and done now is that we've assigned the product button and called it its add event listener. The click on that particular button tells the add event listener what type of event the button will do, i.e. click. The go to product tells the add event listener which function will be activated or triggered. So what we have to do, the last bit of code is going to be this. Inside our currently empty brackets, we're going to tell what type of event it's going to be, click, comma, and then we're going to tell it what to do when it's clicked. Well, we're going to tell it to go to the function go to products. So let's type that in, go to products. And we've got our semicolon there. Right, so have a look at the completed code. Make sure that you've got your semicolons in the right place, colons in the right place, that you have this line here which has been brought in by Flash because we've wanted that, we've mentioned the event here. So there's the complete code. Now file, save. Okay, so what we want to do, go back to our timeline, and we'll just go to window, no we won't, we'll go control, and we want to go test movie in Flash. Okay, so this one has just moved, and the reason for that is because it's taken us to the products page. Let me just go and rewind. Okay, so this is welcome to TalkShop, but we want to see the products information. So the user can now click on the product information and it will take it there. So our button has directed the timeline to go to the correct place. Okay, now that video was quite involved, so maybe go over it a couple of times, have a look at the code, because what you're going to need to do is create buttons for the home and specials button so they can move to their particular part on the timeline. Have a go at that, and then you can show me when you get a chance. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.